As first and second year students, Clemson University is a place we call home. It is a place full of happiness, adventure, laughter, friendship, and more. We enjoy and flourish in the traditions that Clemson has to offer us, such as cheering on the Tigers on Saturdays or laying on Bowman Field. Students walk across this beautiful campus every day. However, rarely do we think about how this amazing campus came to be. Clemson is built on a rich history that many students and alumni are unaware of. Clemson University was originally the site of a plantation named Fort Hill that was also the home to many African American slaves. Since the time of Fort Hill, this land has gone through many changes to become a college campus. As the campus has transformed, many buildings and landmarks have been made that carry a lot of history. Even though students and visitors pass these buildings each day, they do not understand the history of these monuments. Students at Clemson need to know the history behind our campus, specifically the landmarks on campus, to have a greater understanding of the university and know what it means to bear the name of Clemson University. To show how little is known by students about this campus, we will focus on the history of Tillman Hall, the most iconic building at Clemson. The most unrecognized and significant part of Tillman Hall is who the name pays homage to, Benjamin Tillman.
Benjamin Tillman was born in 1847 in Trenton, South Carolina. He served as governor of South Carolina during the years of 1890 to 1894 and went on to serve as a state senator from 1895 to 1902. Through many different political avenues, Benjamin Tillman used his platform and connections to white supremacy groups to segregate the South while further decreasing the rights of African Americans. Using his government influences, Benjamin Tillman made sure African Americans never had the opportunity to move up the social ladder. As governor, he drafted a new state constitution to further remove blacks from political positions and enforce segregation. Although Jim Crow laws are no longer in existence, his actions in getting them established greatly changed the culture of South Carolina, and the racism of the Tillman administration still lingers today. Tillman wrongly blamed crime in South Carolina on the African American race, which turned matters into an issue of skin color rather than an issue of right versus wrong. In addition to Tillman's influence in office, he also supported violent methods to oppress African Americans. When government regulations failed to keep African Americans out of the office and out of election polls, threats and violence were used to ensure certain officials were elected. Tillman also passed a number of Jim Crow laws and outwardly defended lynching, stating that he himself would lead a lynch mob. Francis Simpkins, the author of Ben Tillman's View of the Negro, discusses Mr. Tillman's views on violence. Mr. Simpkins states that he told the nation, in characteristically blunt language, that white South Carolina had triumphed over black South Carolina by the use of shotguns, election frauds, and intimidations, and that white South Carolina, if necessary, to maintain its supremacy by reapplication of these methods. Put simply, Tillman wanted the South to be one skin color, white, and was willing to use violent methods to add white supremacy to every aspect of life and the household. Through government avenues and influence with the public, Mr. Tillman expressed hatred for the people of the African American race and used his hatred to ensure their civil rights were not granted.
Even though Benjamin Tillman acted questionably in matters regarding race, he did many positive things not only for Clemson University, but also for the state of South Carolina. As already mentioned, Tillman helped establish Clemson University, as well as Winthrop University. Mr. Tillman wanted to see an agricultural school separate from other universities. Hence, Clemson University was born. Thomas Green Clemson, who donated the land for Clemson University, told Tillman he was granting the land to the state of South Carolina to make an agricultural college. Tillman had to convince the state to accept Clemson's land because it came with many stipulations. After Clemson College was established, Tillman was appointed one of the 7 trustees, something he was very proud of. Tillman contributed positively not only to Clemson, but also to the state of South Carolina. In a political office, he regulated the sale of alcohol, organized railroads, helped ease the tax burden, and reformed mental institutions. Because of Tillman's reputation as a political leader and an influencer on campus, Tillman Hall was named after him. It is important for students to be fully informed of Benjamin Tillman's action, because his actions, even the ones that did not directly impact the campus, still affect South Carolina and therefore Clemson. Tillman Hall is located in the middle of campus. As one of the most iconic buildings at Clemson, it is seen by many people. This popular building is named after an influential man, but many students do not know who Benjamin Tillman was. If we as students of Clemson University had not taken the time to research Benjamin Tillman, we would have been unaware of his impact on the state and the school. There are many other buildings on campus that have a lot of history that students are unaware of. It is imperative that students educate themselves in the history of what surrounds us. Otherwise, students at Clemson University will become ignorant. As Clemson graduates, students will be bearing the name of Clemson for the rest of our lives, and it is important for students to know the history of their school.
Thomas Tillman?
No, I do not.
No, but I know it's probably after someone with the last name Tillman.
Honestly, no.
It is no secret that universities, including Clemson, can do more to share the history that went into the development of their schools. Not to argue that this history should be used to tear down the university, but further the knowledge of those who work for and attend the wonderful Clemson University. The lack of knowledge students hold directly reflects the need for Clemson to do more to educate students on its founding. We cannot begin to make the schools and society better for future students to come if we cannot first address the history of those marginalized from the years before us.